Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to the Midday News. The news is live on Joy 99.7 FM here in Accra and Kumasi. We are on Love 99.5 FM. We are on Radio Freed in Nandom, Bederin FM in Bumprugu. We are on Radio Justice in Tamale, Sun City Radio in Keta and Saboba FM in Saboba. We are on X Spaces. We are on Facebook. We are on myjoyonline.com. The Midday News is sponsored by Petrol Sol, your clean fuel in full quantity. Petrol Sol is always a delightful experience. Also brought to you by Duraplus Ghana Limited, producers of quality PVC and HDPE pipes and water tank. Where Duraplus goes, water flows. This afternoon, controversy deepens over leaked IGP tape as accusations of misleading Ghanaians emerge, with suggestion by the chairman of the committee of a possible tape alteration strengthening accusers' claim.
It seems to be the case because the second tape is one which is a very long discussion.
Attaches confirmation, it's also a vindication of our client's position.
We have details of a petition by some aggrieved police officers on their promotions. Also this afternoon, government declares war on cocoa smugglers as latest figures show a significant output drop from 1 million to 600,000 metric tons, representing over $500 million loss to the state.
There's something really happening on the smuggling side. We have introduced much better pricing, record-breaking price, and we hope that smuggling will cease. But we can assure the merchants who are involved in the smuggling of cocoa,
and as the minority demands the resignation of the Cocoa Board chief executive over poor performance resulting in losses since 2017, the Agric Minister says the entity's finances will stabilize from next year.
I don't think that Boy Hinedu deserves to be in office. He has mismanaged the cocoa sector.
By June of next year, Cocoa Board will have a clean bill of health. Cocoa Board is not an organization that is wobbling.
And we'll get to focus on the contempt suit against the chairperson of the Electoral Commission. Lawyers allege the Commission's interference with the service process.
The conduct of the Electoral Commission is shameful. What they are doing is interfering with the service of the court process.
But the EC has debunked the allegations, insisting their doors are open to all.
I've not heard of any Bolivian who has been prevented. I don't think anybody who will give advice or instruction that nobody should come to the office.
We have more as the team attempts a third time to present the summons. We'll bring you details of that in sports.
11 Ghanaian boxers out, one still in contention for a slot at next year's Olympic Games.
We'll get to move out also onto the Tema motorway, where drivers who use the expressway have welcomed the partial demolition of toll booths by the Ghana Highway Authority.
Oh, I'm very happy this boot is destroyed. But the boot is in the lane. It has lost more than hundreds of people their life.
And then all roads lead to Tema for this year's Joy News EcoBank Habitat Fair. We've also been talking about securing your home, but have you thought of any device that gives an alert while you're away? You want to stay for more?
So when you are not around and this happens, the people in the neighborhood are getting the alert because of the alarm. Mm-hmm. And you who is away, you're also getting notification on your phone. Right. Call police, call anybody who's go around.
We have that and more in this afternoon's edition of the Midday News. You ought to stay for details. I am Emefa Apawu. Many thanks for your company. We start off on the controversy over the leaked IGP tape, and it's deepening further as the chairman of Parliament's ad hoc committee, Samuel Atachia, suggests that the initial tape might have been doctored. Well, this revelation comes after the chief witness in the alleged plot to remove the IGP, Daniel Bugui-Nabu, submitted a new tape. COP Alexander George Mensah and Superintendent George Asare, who have accused the IGP, had previously testified that the portions of the tape had been tampered with for malicious purposes and requested the full conversation with Chief Daniel Bugui-Nabu. Well, listen to them when they appeared before the committee.
The audio which I've just listened is an edited one. There's a likelihood that somebody can fake my voice, but I can't confirm because I don't have that technical decision to confirm. Yes, Mr. Chair, but there is some cut and paste on the audio, but that notwithstanding, the voice in it is mine.
Were their claims actually true? Was the tape actually doctored? Listen to the response of Chairman of Parliament's Ad Hoc Committee, Samuel Atachia.
Does the second tape suggest that indeed the initial tape which went viral is a doctored one?
it seems to be the case because the second tape is one which is a very long discussion, which I can come to some understanding that they do not dispute.
Well, Alfred Papadakwa, lawyer for one of the witnesses, Superintendent George Asare, indicates the latest twist to the case confirms their suspicion about the authenticity of the previous tape.
Yes, that has been our case all along. You would recall that when the witnesses came, we did confirm some of the issues on the tape and also indicated that the tape was edited and also doctored, and attaches confirmation of that is also a vindication of our client's position. There are a lot of differences, and I'm sure when we get into in-camera, we would highlight those ones. But what I can say is that what was circulated in the media was a fraction of the conversation that our clients had with Buginabo.
That's Alfred Papadakwa, lawyer for Superintendent George Asare there. Well, we know that there's been a number of petitions before the committee over this particular matter by some senior police officers. My colleague Samuel Imbura joins me in studio. He's been monitoring that situation, has a copy of it, joins me. So Imbura, who are the petitioners and what exactly are their requests, you say?
This is a single petitioner. He says he's a Ghanaian with interest in the alleged attempts to oust the IGP Akufo-Dampare from office and rise under the Whistleblowers Act 720/2006 to petition the committee over alleged acts of injustice perpetrated against some officers of the Ghana Police Service. It is his assumption that the Police Council cannot absolve itself of complicity in this matter because it is not as if the council is not aware of these issues in the police service. According to him, one of the reasons these things keep happening is lack of clearly laid down procedure for the promotion of senior officers, and their promotion is at the discretion of the Inspector General of Police, the IGP. The petitioner therefore wants the committee to consider the concerns of these officers and look into them.
Okay. Well, we know that there's a separate suit in court over this promotions issue as well. But we know that the chairman of the committee yesterday responded to this. So what did he say?
He said at the moment they are dealing with the substantive issues. When they are done, they will look into to these concerns.
That is very peripheral to the investigations we are doing, and we will look at it. So when you brush aside your substantive remit and go into some other matters, it could eat our time. So we'll look at the time measurement properly and we'll attend to it. It's not a fetish of an inquiry. It's an open inquiry. And the public who are interested in the sanity of the Ghana Police Service can always come in with whatever evidence which has direct relation to our remit, and we'll look at it.
Well, Murad, what happens then with the committee? We know that after yesterday there was an adjournment. What's next?
So the next sitting is on the 2nd of October, and going forward, it is going to be an in-camera hearing of the case.
Okay. Well, we know that the IGP, Dr. George Akufo-Dampare, has been dismissing the claims of holding up promotions in the service. Listen.
There is no hold-up of promotion of any junior officer in the whole police service. Nobody in the service. And the junior rank that you are saying, whose promotion is being heard. So that is another set of concocted story that is being put out there for mischievous reasons.
What about those senior officers whose promotions have to be sent from management to council?
Honorable Chair, every one of them, with the exception of a few, have been sent. And the few who have been sent, and the few who are there, is based on the fact that beyond the number of years that you have been in the position, there is other factors that come into it. And those other factors include competence, include vacancy, include integrity, including all other factors. And when this, beyond that, it becomes the preserve of the police council, and from that level, who make recommendations to His Excellency Mr. President, and for that to be effected.
Well, that's Dr. George Akufu Dampare, Ghana's IGP. Now, lawyers for Aita Precious, the 18-year-old who's sued the EC and is seeking to cite the chairperson of the Electoral Commission, Jean Mensah, for contempt, is attempting for the third time to serve the commission with a court summons. The Electoral Commission was sued at an Accra High Court for contempt. Well, this follows the rollout of the limited voter registration exercise despite an interlocutory injunction filed against the commission. Speaking to Raymond Akron upfront, a lawyer for the plaintiff, Nick Pakpo Samwado, stated they will report the commission to the court if it continues to interfere with the service.
The conduct of the Electoral Commission is shameful. What they are doing is interfering with the service of the court process. We are left with no choice but to go back to the High Court and ask the High Court for substitute service of the process. Mr. Slebo is saying that they are not presenting any bail from the court to enter the premises. I am saying that I'm going to ask the bailiffs and lawyers from our office with cameras from your television station to go to the head office of the Electoral Commission.
But the Director of Electoral Services at the EC, Dr. Srebo Kweku, has denied the allegations, insisting the doors of the commission are open to all.
I'm not aware that anybody has stopped from coming to the office. I've not heard of any bailiff entering who has been prevented. So I don't think anybody will give advice or instruction that nobody should come to the office. I entered the office without any hindrance and I left without any hindrance. And it has not come to my attention that anybody has been prevented from coming to the office.
Has the EC received any writs at all, or applications of injunction, of contempt, or any suits at all? Have you been served?
Those things will go to the legal department if they come.
Okay.
And I wouldn't know.
That's the Director of Electoral Services, Dr. Srebo Kweku, there, speaking to my colleague Raymond Nakwa on upfront. Well, the team attempted a third time today to serve the EC the summons, and our cameras duly were there, led by our reporter James Aveji, and he joins us in the studios. What happened today?
Yes, Emefa, so for the third time, they have not been able to access the premises of the EC to serve them. The lawyers as well as the court bailiff, they have been they said they've been prevented by the police personnel on duty at the EC headquarters. And so one of the members of the legal team for the applicant, Joseph Wellington Blay, explains to me the reason the police have been giving him and the way forward.
They didn't offer any reason per se. I think the reason is instructions from above. Nobody's allowed to enter or move out of the premises. So we've been denied access once again.
What does all of this mean to your application?
The law on contempt application is that it has to be served personally on the respondent who is affected by the contempt application. However, if a bailiff attempts service for more than 3 times and the bailiff is not able to serve a particular court process, we are allowed, the applicants are allowed to apply to the court for the process to be served through substituted service.
What does that mean?
Substituted service generally means that any means other than personal service. So the court can order that we paste the contempt application on the notice of the High Court Tema and then paste a copy on their notice board, or serve any person that we meet here, any official of the EC that we meet here. Yes.
By the way, has she been able to register yet?
She's not been able to register. She can't register. She can't afford. The distance between where she resides and the closest district office is over 40 kilometers. It is practically impossible for.
And the question is, although the distance, she's been able to come and file a case in Tema.
No, so this is a pro bono case. So our firm and a team of lawyers are helping people like that out. So we are helping those who are disenfranchised, who feel aggrieved by the decision of the NTC.
That's a team of lawyers for Precious Aita. Yeah. So tell us, when we got to the EC offices this morning, what exactly happened?
So when we got there, together with the bailiff and the lawyer, we approached the security persons, and then we were told that order from above says that nobody should be allowed into the premises. Initially, one person told us that the place is not working, there is no official in there, and then the back and forth
In fact, the lawyer and the bailiff tried calling some of the officials. The call goes through and then no one answers. And so the police again tells us that nobody is allowed, and that is the order from above.
And we are talking about the new EC offices?
Yes, the one around when you are going to Parliament at Ridge, just opposite the office of the Special Prosecutor.
Okay, thank you very much. That's my colleague James Aveji. Meanwhile, the first 2 days of the limited registration exercise has been wrought with technical challenges, causing delays and frustrating people. Dr. Sribo Kweku has been responding to the concerns.
If you check the hiccups yesterday as compared to today, you read that the problem has gone down drastically. And it is normal, all those people that I have talked to, what I told them that we are doing this exercise for 21 days. And basically, the first 3 days, you have the challenges, then you are addressing them. And by the time you finish with the third day, the system will have been smoothing. So all that is happening is normal. The challenges will start, and you'll be able to address them. One issue that we should also understand is that for 3 years, our officials have not been using the machine, so it affects their speed, and they make small mistakes that they are corrected.
Well, that's the Director of Electoral Services for the Electoral Commission, Dr. Sribo Kweku there. Now, on to some other stories. And government has this afternoon declared war on cocoa smugglers to neighboring countries. Latest figures from cocoa production output show a significant drop of 400,000 metric tons, which translates into almost $600 million in losses to the state. Documents available to Joy News suggest the drop was as a result of the smuggling of the cocoa beans to neighboring countries, especially La Côte d'Ivoire, Burkina Faso, and Togo. Government is hoping the recent adjustment in the producer price will help stem the tide. Food and Agricultural Minister Brian Echampon tells Joy News that steps have also been taken to deal with smugglers.
From June to today, that we opened the new cocoa season, we have not received a single bean, one bean, cocoa bean, not the cocoa pod, one cocoa bean from the eastern cocoa zones. Cocoa board has not received one bean, meaning that all the money that we are putting into cocoa production is being smuggled out. Our output has dropped from a peak of 1,030,000 metric tons, 1030 metric tons, to 650,000 metric tons. That is how low. And meanwhile, the money that we have put in to catalyze cocoa has shot up from 100 million to now almost $400 million. There's something really happening on the smuggling side. We have introduced much better pricing, record-breaking price, and we hope that smuggling will cease. But we can assure the merchants who are involved in the smuggling of cocoa,
That's the Agric Minister, Brian Echampon. Well, Cocoa Board from 2017 till date has been making losses, threatening its very existence despite the rise in the world market price. Well, cocoa prices have trended higher over the past year as global cocoa supplies have tightened. Well, concern about lower cocoa production in Ghana, the world's second largest producer, is also a positive development for cocoa prices, which as of 11 a.m. was selling at $3,830 per ton. Minority Leader Dr. K. Forcing is demanding the resignation of the Cocoa Board CEO Joseph Boahin-Edu, accusing him of incompetence.
We are seeing the production coming down, declining to the lowest in the last 15 years. So everything has gone bad at the Ghana Cocoa Board. We're also seeing them recording massive losses since 2017. Last year, according to their own audit report, they declared a loss of 2.4 billion Ghana cedis 1 year. 1 year. And the question is, what's going on? Clearly, I don't think that Boahin-Edu deserves to be in office. He has mismanaged the cocoa sector massively. He's been reckless, mismanaged, shortchanged the cocoa farmer, and in the end, he has brought productivity down. So I don't see why he should be in office. He should rather resign instead of him insulting President Mahama.
Well, the Agric Minister, Brian Echampon, is hopeful the Cocoa Board finances will stabilize from next year.
Cocoa has not been neglected. First, as an institution, Cocoa Board is one of the most effectively run institutions in the world. They are having a revenue of almost 12 billion a year and spending 2 billion in their operations makes it one of the most highly efficient run organizations in the world. Number two, if you look at the Cocoa Board turnaround strategy, next year, this year, they are on a path to self-reliance and financial recovery. By June of next year, Cocoa Board will have a clean bill of health. Cocoa Board is not an organization that is wobbling.
Well, that's the Agric Minister, Brian Echampong, once again. Now, let's take the road to the Accra-Tema motorway, and that's the road that leads to this year's EcoBank Joy News Habitat Fair. But first, some motorists who ply the route have been expressing the approval of the demolition of 2 out of the 8 booths on the expressway. According to the drivers, this action will enhance the free flow of traffic and help prevent further accidents. We'll be hearing from the drivers shortly, but first, listen to Samuel Aidan, the site engineer in charge of the ongoing demolition works, as he explains the scope of the project on the stretch.
Well, we actually began that of the Accra, that was yesterday, which lasted for about 4 hours, and currently this morning we are at Tema Tobut Plaza. We have actually begun with the exercise though. We encourage approaching vehicles to kindly adhere to our road signs as they approach the demolition exercise. Thank you.
How long is this demolition actually going to last?
Well, we are expecting for it to last within about 4 to 5 hours.
Well, my colleague Carlos Caloni spent most part of the morning there. Still there, joins us on the line with more. Carlos, first off, what's the current state of the booths? What can you report?
All right, Emefa, I can say that the very tall boat sitting on the Accra-Tema motorway has been successfully demolished. It's left with the main boat, which used to house the equipment and all that. So I believe in the next 1 hour, according to the engineers, that will be demolished also. And they're telling us that in the next 2 hours, they're actually going to be start mounting barricades to redirect traffic flow onto the extreme right.
The next phase of the work is, for instance, we are going to finish the demolition works in the next 2 hours. Once we are done with the demolition works, we are going to start installing the barricades. The barricades that we are installing now is not for the driveway though, but it's just to protect our scope of work and then our construction area. When we are done, we are going to install the barricades for a straight path from Aflao towards Accra, and then from Accra towards Tema. So what I mean to say is that the barricades we are going to install initially is just temporary.
Well, Carlos, you got to interact with some road users and drivers as well on that stretch. What exactly are their concerns? It looks like I don't have Carlos, but you can hear his interaction.
Oh, I'm very happy this boot is destroyed because the boot is in the lane. It's in the lane. It has lost more than hundreds of people their life, properties. So I'm very happy we have come and destroyed this boot. I'm very, very happy. Every dose, if you can even check the other lanes, if they are in the boot is in the other lanes to make sure that those lanes you destroy them.
It's good if they are able to do all these things. It will prevent the accident and the traffic. When you are going, you can get the chance, then top speed, then you take go where you are going. So I think it's good that they should do this thing.
Stay with me. We'll go back to Tema for this year's EcoBank Joy News Habitat Fair. This is the Midday News. You're on Joy 99.7 FM, and the Midday News is proudly sponsored by Petrosol, your clean fuel in full quantity. Petrosol, always a delightful experience. Also brought to you by Duraplus Ghana Limited, producers of quality PVC and HDP pipes and water tank. Where Duraplus goes, water flows. We've been hearing about the controversy as it deepens over leaked IGP tape as accusations of misleading Ghanaians emerge, with suggestion by the chairman of the committee of a possible tape alteration, strengthening the accuser's claim. We return with sports, and then we'll talk about the security of your home. Have you thought about any device that gives an alert while you're away?
So when you are not around and this happens, the people in the neighborhood are getting the alert because of the alarm. And you who is away, you're also getting notification on your phone. Call police, call anybody to go around.
When budgets are tight and money difficult to come by, you want to be sure you get the best value for your money. These are not times to be spending money fixing expensive engine problems because of cheap fuel and lubricants. Drive to a petrol source station today and buy your quality fuel and lubricants, and rest assured of fuel that lasts long and lubricants that prevent expensive engine problems. Hear the sound. Petrosol, clean fuel in full quantity.
Thanks for staying with us. Time for sports. Mubarak.
Yes, Emefa, unfortunate news for Ghanaians because 11 boxers have been eliminated at the African Boxing Tournament, with one still in contention for a slot at the 2024 Olympic Games in Paris. Yesterday's losses suffered by Onela Sathud, Joseph Komi, and Jonathan Tete add up to the already 8 ousted from the qualifying event in Senegal. Theophilus Pato Alote is the boxer remaining after beating his Uganda opponent Shafik Mawanda in the men's flyweight division. Later today at 5 p.m, Alote takes on Alazindi of Tunisia in the semis. Here's the team's head coach, Ofori Asari.
We hope we go further. We want to qualify at least one person here. We've not given up yet, and we are pushing. We ask for the prayers of Ghanaians. That is not over yet. Qualifying to the Olympics Games has always been difficult for us because we don't have people in there, officials. Some countries they are inside the organization, they are inside the officiating, they are everywhere. But we don't have people like that there. It is like we go in with only the athletes and then try our best. We will make sure we will finish well, and then we look for the next qualification.
That's Ofori Asari, the head coach of the national boxing team.
We still believe in you. We are still proud of you all. Now, let's talk about stories of hope. Now, when his dream of becoming a world-class footballer did not materialize, Michael Edumaze's urge to see himself succeed regardless became his push and pull. After some ups and downs in changing jobs, Michael settled on barbering, a trade he practices with such passion and zeal. He shares his struggle and successes with Hannah Odame in today's Story of Hope series.
Michael has always nurtured a strong ambition of being a footballer. He had imagined himself on the international stage, playing in the big leagues. When he completed junior high school, he put all his eggs in one basket: football or nothing else. So he traveled to Accra to make this dream a reality.
I went to Sahara where I was told selection of players is done. I was asked to pay 500 cedis registration fee, but I didn't have the money, so I had to find another means to survive. 500.
Looking like a shattered dream, Michael refused to go back home. He quickly had to make another plan to survive.
So I found work by washing utensils for a kenke seller. After a while, I changed to helping produce and sell paints money. I left that too to sell fried rice.
Michael got excited about migrating to South Africa. A client convinced him that he would earn more money whilst there.
One day, Madam Gaibi, One day, I met a Baba who encouraged me to learn the trade, and through that, I traveled to South Africa.
He touched down in Johannesburg and called the person who was supposed to host him.
From 4 a.m. when I landed in SA until 10 p.m., my host never picked his calls. They then became suspicious and deported me back to Ghana.
With no money left, no job to hold on to, and no one to look up to, it took him so many years to bounce back. Eventually, the ever-determined Michael got back on his feet and now owns a barbering shop.
I spent all my money on the South African trip, so when I came back, I really cried. I felt all was lost. I hustled a lot but could not get much money. After working for a while, I thought of getting my own shop. So in 2018, I rented this place, and today I tirelessly work towards making this work for me.
And are you ready? It's time for the EcoBank Joy News Habitat Fair in Tema tomorrow. And for many, security takes top priority when planning to build a home, aiming to deter trespassers and ensure safety. However, the real challenges arise when it's time to select the most suitable security systems. Well, Esther Abuajuai, Sales Marketing and Communications Executive for Virtual Security Africa. Listen.
Someone might need security, and it might be an intrusion, or let's say audio video intercom. So depending on your area, your space, and the kind of threat that you have.
Right.
So we come to your space, we help you determine the threat in your area, and then we help you make a purchasing decision. So someone might want a security, someone would want to secure his or her perimeter. You can do that with an electric fence. Another person will want to secure the perimeter, but the person might need an intruder alarm. So so we have them in different packages. And then ours is GSM. We configure it on your phone using the SIM card. And you can register as many as 20 mobile phones on the system. So let's say your wife, your kid, anybody in your house. So if your phone is off, your husband is getting notification. If your husband is off, yes, your children are getting notification.
Well, you know the choice to make for your home security. Well, yes, what to expect from tomorrow's EcoBank Joy News Habitat Fair. Head of Sales and Marketing here at the Multimedia Group, Max Figure, tells us more.
What we seek to do with the Habitat Fair is to create a platform for all those who are within the housing value chain to showcase their products and services to property seekers and to anybody else who is interested in everything housing. But this year, we realized that there's a lot of development taking place in and around Tema. And so we decided to move to Tema to give opportunity to property developers, to property seekers, to those who are interested in the auxiliary services, roofing, shades, furniture, everybody. So we are looking at the Tema Township itself, boom, Dowenya, all the way to Chopoli for their housing projects. If you walk into the Habitat Fair at the Tema Municipal Assembly from 15th to 17th, you can be sure that whatever you're going to purchase there will be far less than the market price.
And you know, as they say, Yatitiso EcoBank Joy News Habitat Fair, 15th to 17th. You can't miss it. All roads lead to Tema. And that's it for the Midday News here on Joy 99.7 FM, sponsored by Petrosol, your clean fuel in full quantity. Also by Duraplus Ghana Limited, producers of quality PVC and HDPE pipes and water tank. I am Emefa. Apawu. Living Word with Pastor Mental Tabil is up next Tuesday.